You're watching a Youth TV, empowering you.
A very good morning, everyone watching us here at 8 TV. The living out allowances are here, which is a sign for our own efforts and benefits of being here and having this program, the Youth Feedback. Our students who are on government have received their living out allowances, which is good for our program as the Youth Feedback. It is a program that does not just stop at mere words, but actions have been undertaken and results have been evidenced. As earlier noticed, we are going to discuss the resumption of physical learning in our respective institutions as per the President's directive to have higher institutions of learning start with effect from 1st November. And with me here here at the university in our new home, I am joined by the Education Minister from Bara University of Science and Technology, Honorable Karobwa Selassie. Is that the right pronunciation? Yes. Thank you very much. I'm also joined by Right Honorable Musa. I'm informed he's always right by virtue of his position. He serves as the Prime Minister for Musisa, Bara University Science Students Association. Welcome to the program. Next is Honorable Rauben Mizuche, who serves as the GRC for Faculty of Science. And lastly, our very own Honorable Koleb, who is going to represent the institution Bishop Stewart University and bring us up to speed regarding what has been happening with his institution. Thank you very much. And I'm going to quickly start with Honorable Karobwa Selassie, who is the Education Minister, to first of all give us an account of whatever has been happening ever since we started this very semester when it was online. So I will expect each one to introduce, then make your submission. Thank you very much.
Before the introduction,
yes,
I would like to thank 8 TV for the opportunity, and I appreciate for the services they are doing from Bara University of Science and Technology, and also to what they are doing in the media. I'm called Karobwa Selassie. I'm the GRC, Faculty of Science, and at the same time, I double as the Minister of Education from Bara University of Science and Technology. I'm doing Bachelor of Science in Education, Physics, Math. Currently, I'm in year 3 and I major in Physics. Thank you.
Yes, next, Right Honorable.
Thank you so much.
Let's be a bit audible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Siwe, and all together with the management of 8 TV for giving us another opportunity to utter out our ideas as we move to open up. My name is Musa Nalgoda, serving as the Prime Minister of Bara University Science Students Association.
Then, yes, Honorable.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Siwe. I wish to recognize the presence of my bosses here, Mr. Selassie, the Education Minister, Mr. Musa Nalgoda, my Prime Minister and the faculty, then my friend here from BSU, and plus the management from 8 TV. My name is Tumizuche Rauben from Faculty of Science. I do Bachelor's of Science with Education, Physics, Math. I greet you all our viewers on 8 TV. I think this opportunity is going to utter out our views concerning to physical opening of the students, and more is going to be discussed as we continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Koleb, your introduction to this program.
Yes, first of all, I take this opportunity to thank you all who have been able to make it, and to thank the Almighty God for the gift of life He has given to us. We cannot take it for granted. And thank the management of 8 TV. We are honored and excited to associate with you people. My name is Koleb Tuijuche, a student at Bishop Stewart University, doing animal health and production. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, I will first of all take on Honorable Selassie to update us of what has been happening ever since we started this very semester, and what we can expect when we resume for physical learning.
Yes. Thanks, moderator. On 8th of June, this specific year 2021, we had the communication from the president, and all institutions of learning were closed. Prior to that, Mbara University was having semester 1 exams, and 1 week was done. We're heading for the second week. Of course, due to the directive, we had to close and wait until reopening would come for us to continue with our studies. But as we would not wait sitting like what happened a year ago in 2020 when we had to sit for the whole year, we continued with the program of resuming academics on 28th of June, which was the proposed date for beginning second semester. And of course, we were successful at that. We began handling online classes on the 28th of June, and we are still ongoing. We are coming to the closure of the semester as we prepare for the exams for both semesters. As I've told you, we had not completed the semester 1 exams, and we still have semester 2 exams to come. And before I go further, I would like to acknowledge some of the things we have experienced, some of the things we have gone through, what have we achieved in this, and what the challenges that we have been facing as we prepare for having online exams amidst having online classes. We have had, dear moderator, I would like to inform the public that we have had an attendance of 41% students attending online classes. Of course, it's not a good number for us to move on and do exams, as it requires a certain percentage to have attended all the lectures to 80%. But we cannot sit and wait, as this is the generation we are in, which has gone far more than digital now. We cannot wait for everything we cannot wait for the lockdown to end, and then we resume, as we know the detriment, as we know how costly it is to the young generation and to the academics of this country. We have had also tests ongoing, and I would like to bring to the notice that 93% of the students have successfully undergone assignments and tests as the mode of evaluation authorized by the National Council for Higher Education.
Is that 93% a combination of tests and assignments, or it is for either?
It's a combination of tests and assignments, I mean both individual and group assignments. Of course, we have had cases where students don't get enough data, don't get battery, and they miss the timeline. In such cases, they miss submitting, or they don't even attend the tests because of the challenges I've talked about: battery, internet, and the network as well. Of course, that's why you don't have up to 100%. And of course, those are some of the few courses we have had. 93% attending tests and assignments, and then for tests we have had a good percentage. We have had 98% of the students successful attending tests, but the assignments has been somehow hard as the students may hope to submit maybe at the end, and they end up getting caught up by time and also network problems, sending the wrong emails and all that stuff. But we have still gone further to not only succeed on assignments and tests, but we have had lectures. We have had the recorded lectures being sent to the students to some extent. For example, my course have received some lectures and some recorded lectures, and some non-recorded, some recorded lectures have not received. And this was a move to support the students who do not get the chance to attend classes
when they are
at that time. To record the lecturers, take the time, record the lectures, and forward to the students. That maybe at any time a student can come and study from the lecture, the recorded video. And as the guild still have gone further to support the students who could have not had the gadgets, and some of the students are beneficiaries of this project. And I would like to thank Madam Dr. Primrose for the support to this. We have had some students given some smartphones to support them and also be part of the online class. As you know, not every student was able, and this move was a success, and some students are already beneficiaries. Also, class presidents, they have been working so hard to see how they can make the ends meet, connecting the classes, students and lecturers. And as a group, we have tried to support some of the class presidents as per now, and the program is still ongoing. we are still going to see further how we can even support the others with a small contribution, which is not enough, but which at least can, we say half a loaf is better than a bread. At least which is half a loaf to these class presidents to motivate them and so they do not give up on these students.
Honorable, I would like us to quickly run to what we can expect when we resume. There's a lot that has been done, we acknowledge, but what can this viewer out there who is a student expect when we are reopening? On
ground, we are well sure that schools, mostly tertiary institutions, have been opened on 1st November to resume, but with of course conditions attached. One, you all know that students and lecturers needed to be vaccinated to make this effective. Yes. And of course, as students are now anticipating, we had not completed exams. We have semesters which have been studying, we are completing studies. We have not had exams for semester 2. What should we expect when we report? And I would like to inform the public, more so to the students that that when we open, we should expect completing semester 1 exams first, and then we can open. We can prepare for semester 2 exams. But before that, we also try to focus on what may come, because we are remaining with less than 1 month now to the 1st of November. Therefore, opening the university for online, for physical exams may be not that much viable if we are to immediately open on 1st November. And that's why the university management is not sitting, and it is not only waiting for physical whatsoever and satisfy the conditions as they may be had to satisfy the conditions. Yes. And before 1st November, I would like to inform all the students to be prepared, as a scout said, that always be prepared. We may currently on Monday, 4th, this Monday, yes, 4th of October, the Senate is sitting. We are having students representatives there under the administration to discuss on how effective we can have semester 1 exams, because the administration is thinking of either having physical exams or online exams. But this should not worry the student out there, because many students are having challenges with online exams. But we have also seen the consequences, and the university is already taking steps, is already handling some sample tests of online exams. The electrical engineering year 4 has done, and we have had another course, physiotherapy, doing an online exam to see how it would be if we are to adopt it. And if it
as you conclude on that,
and if it is viable, we shall adopt it. But if it is not viable, depending on the student interests and what is good for them, we shall wait and satisfy the conditions and see how we can do exams physical. But as per now, I would like to say the students either wait for online or physical, as we see what is good and what the students want and what is good for them.
So in other words, if we are to have the physical exams, that would insinuate that we are going to be delayed for some time.
Of course, we'll be delayed too, as we satisfy the conditions. And we may not know if the third wave is coming and we close completely.
Thank you very much. I would like to take on Honorable Caleb from Bishop Stewart University, who they have already started, some courses have already started on the physical learning. How is the picture and image like for Bishop Stewart University?
No, actually, the science department, the animal health department, and nursing department, they are the ones who have opened physically. Yes. Because of the practical things that they go through. Yes. So to me and to other comrades there, they cannot afford having it online. So they have decided to reopen as the government and Mr. Museveni said it last time.
Yes.
But others are doing it online, and we are preparing actually to have online exams. I'm happy for my comrades here. For them, they are still preparing. But for us, we are starting on 13th. To me, it's not going to be easy for some students there because of the how expensive it is, having gadgets, having network. But to me, we have students who are ready to embrace it. People are studying, and we have got some courses which have not studied.
Yes.
So the ones that have studied and have prepared for it, to me, they are going to do exams. And the ones that have not prepared and they have not studied effectively, they are not going to have exams. So the picture is too bad for students who have not prepared for it, and it is good for students who have opened, who have embraced it and who have been ready to do it.
Yes.
And exams, those ones that are doing it physically, it is as normal. It is very good. We are having masks. People are entering the university with masks, with their protective gears, and they are studying. The environment is clean and very well.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Caleb. And from his submission, it is clear that the student out there watching this should prepare himself for 1st November in case we are to have exams, both whether physical or even online. I would like to take on Honorable Lauben to tell us what, by virtue of his position as the GRC, what have been the concerns of your students, the students you lead, and the general student fraternity.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Imbisiwe. I thank you all our viewers on ATTV. There are more concerns that have been laid by students, of course. Most of the concerns that we are following from the start, when the president addressed the nation and he said the students should go back home following the pandemic, the second wave, and then students reported back home. They spent like 3 weeks, then we received a certain information from the university that we are starting online studies.
I would like to know exactly what they have said after, like, the president announcing that we are resuming physical lectures on 1st November.
Physical lectures?
Yes.
Okay, that is fine. So more concerns have been put across. First of all, how are they prepared to come for physical learning? Yeah. There are many difficulties that students are going through. First of all, most of them are scared about vaccination, to be sincere, because there are more rumors that are circulating. If you vaccinate, there are some things that happen, though, that comes across. So but for us, we've been...
for the government to come out and demystify such concepts.
There is a need for more sensitization, and strictly from the top administrators of the campus plus the government at large, because most of the students are scared about vaccination. Yet the president announced it clearly that resuming physically, students must be vaccinated, and entering the university premises, you have to be with a vaccination card.
Regarding regarding exams, do you think your students are ready to face them, whether online or physical, despite the challenges?
According to me, I think most of our students are not ready for exams, especially for the second semester, but for the first semester, the pending ones, there are some already. Why am I saying so? You see, this is the University of Science and Technology. Most of the courses that we do, they are somehow practical, and they need us to be physically at campus. So for us, we had the feeling at the start that the moment the government opens up physically, we'll come at campus and you take like 1 month, and then we'll be going through what we've been covering at home. But of which we think by now it might be impossible according to what it is going on. So I think students are somehow at around 62% prepared to sit for those exams.
I would like to now take on Honorable Musa. Despite the challenges and whether you're ready or not as a student, you have to change by the changing environment, otherwise we shall be left behind. What is it that we as students have to do to adapt to the new environment, however much it requires us to be practical? What do you think?
Thank you so much, Honorable Education Minister, Honorable Selassie, and my fellow participants in this conversation at ATTV. I mean, the idea is, what are we meant to do as students as we move to open up? That was the question. And now my submission is, as we move to open up, this is just pending, it is staggered opening. We are not so sure that by 1st of November, university lecturers and all students will be fully vaccinated. And when you try to focus it at an angle of the vaccine only, according to government, the AstraZeneca vaccine that we have in Brent expired on 30th of last month. And now as we move to vaccinate people with the already expired vaccine, what is the impact on the student side?
Is it even going to be done?
Is it even going to be done? And then my submission on the vaccine is, if we can observe the SOPs, this vaccine truth is, it is just still under test. we have seen compromises of people after being vaccinated, they die, they face severe health challenges. So opening up should not entirely rely on what? Vaccine. But now my idea is, as we move to open up, I want first of all thank Honorable Silas for giving us that 41% attendance of online what? Exam. It is true, it is 41% according to the what?
Lectures, not
Online classes.
Yes.
But now the idea is, according to the university constitution,
yes,
we are meant to do exams at 80% attendance. But now it is 41%, but we've had it online. If the 41% has been physical, it would be resourceful. We would say that students by now are at least the 41% are at 41% prepared to do exams of this current semester.
Yes.
But now the constitution says no student will be allowed to sit for an exam if his attendance is below 80%. How has the university prepared to handle?
Don't you think that condition or that clause in the constitution was about it best suits normal conditions, and yet we are now in an abnormal condition?
Thank you so much. I want to first of all agree with you that it was based on what?
Normal condition.
Normal condition. But now, as we focus on other things in this abnormal time, we've had classes online, and you know how hectic and expensive these classes are. A student has to secure a gadget, a student has to secure data, and at times, due to location, they have to locate to areas of network in order to have these online lectures attended successfully.
Yes.
But now, what compromises us as the student side is that the university policies have kept the same. The retake policy has kept the same.
Yes.
The tuition and functional fees have kept the same. So when we try to ask, it is our personal input into ourselves to secure gadgets, buy data, and locate to areas of network in order to attend these classes.
Yes.
Which incentive has the guild together with the university prepared for students who have, after a long struggle, sacrificed out of their personal commitment and loans to attend these lectures?
Yes.
They are calling for official open up. And now when we reflect on the timetables of the medical students, what we anticipate to happen is giving us 1 week to prepare for pending papers, then 2 weeks to prepare for the current semester exams. And now, truth is, with some courses it can be possible. But now, specifically at Faculty of Science, personally, right now I'm doing 23 course units. I have had 15 online, 7 course units were left for last semester. And the truth is, you can't give me 2 weeks to prepare for the 15 course units that I have had online.
So all you're asking for is that with the government, the university policies are supposed to be considerate of the current conditions and be reasonable and reasonable with the prevailing conditions that students are even going through.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that submission. And as we come towards the closure of this very discussion, I would like to, of course, pick your mind on what we can expect, because we saw when these medicine students were called, most of them it was so abrupt and given very few days for them to have reported, irrespective of wherever they were. Is this survival for the fittest, Honorable Minister?
I would like to echo your question, which is how are students ready?
Yes,
for this reopening.
And I think you will attach that to the mode of examination.
The mode of examination.
Yes.
Before, if we are to wait and to vaccinate with the vaccine which are not there, I don't know if we may take 2 months or 3-4 months without vaccinating to satisfy the conditions for online, for physical.
Yes.
And we are not sure if within 1 month they will close again for the 3rd wave.
Yes.
And still, we may not go for online again because maybe it has consequences with students. Therefore, I would like to inform everyone that we are in a crisis.
Yes.
And we cannot make demands to one person that may be able to satisfy my demands, university satisfy demands. We are all in a crisis.
Yes.
When you got the constitution, you made it clear the constitution was made not knowing the pandemic was coming.
Yeah.
Maybe those are some of the additions we should plan to make once we have chance.
Yes.
Maybe the recommendations we can put and also to make some changes.
Yeah.
But how are students ready? Yes, the students may be ready or not ready. I can say some are ready to attend to online exams or not, and some are not ready for online exams. They may require physical. But still, my voice to students is we need to adjust to the conditions which you may be faced with.
By all means.
Not by all means. That's why, as the guild, we have seen online exams, online classes have not been that much effective. And we say students are lacking gadgets. We are giving at least some gadgets to some students who don't have the gadgets. And that answers the question directly, that what has the guild done in this position and what has the university done in this position?
Yes.
And the question, and what has the university done? That's why it is still handling some tests to see if this would be viable or not. And I made it clear to the students that we are not giving the students what only they want, but at the same time what is good for them. Therefore, what should we expect is that we should prepare for what is coming, and I would not like to preempt what is the speech that is coming, because on Monday, like I said, we're having a Senate sitting, having both administration and state representatives to discuss whether we can move on with our preparations for online, as we may not wait for physical opening conditions, or if we should wait till November and we sit physical exams. Therefore, you as a student who had gone with the timetable back home in June, having done half of exams, remaining with 1 or 2, 3 courses to do, you should prepare in advance. That's what I would tell you.
Yes.
And not be caught unaware, because you already have the timetable. That's what the university has done. It has already given the timetable. You already know the exams you're going to do.
Yes.
And the university still is supporting those students whom the guild is supporting, the students who may not have smartphones. The government students who are fighting for LA, they have the support which they demanded.
Yes, it has now come.
And it has now come. Therefore, most of the challenges students are having, we are trying to solve them. As we also observe other challenges and see how we can eradicate them, to prepare these students for the case that they may come. We know students are scared of vaccination, we also know. And we know that they may fear to satisfy the other conditions that the government is requiring. We know, so that's why we are like, if they may not, because as a leader we have to plan for the other side of the river.
Yes.
The students may not be in a position to fight all those conditions. That's why we are also having that in mind of giving them either online or physical exams.
Honorable Koleb, I would like to, of course, now know from your other side of the world, what is it, you gave us an account of what is happening now. What should we expect for, especially when these other groups of students have embarked for physical learning?
To me, we expect to have a reduction of our students in the university, because most of our students are private students, paying tuition for themselves. Now the biggest challenge that we have is tuition, because we have seen all this crisis and we must accept that the crisis has affected a parent, a student, and perhaps the administrators.
Yes.
So to me, our parents are not ready. Because they are saying on 1st November, and we are going to immediately start with exams. So to me, I think our parents have not been prepared for it.
Is the institution ready to proceed with its current affairs, or policies of 100% fees payment?
Yeah, absolutely. They have continued with their policy, 100% functional fees, 100% tuition, and other fees policies.
What has the
registration policies? It has continued demanding us, and now they are saying we should prepare for exams actually before November. We are starting 13th this October.
Preparations for
exams, end of semester. Online exams. We are going to start 13th November, October. So to me, our students are in a crisis. Both they have not prepared for exams because they have not effectively been taught with their courses and programs.
Yes.
And they have not prepared for their tuition and fees balances. And the university policy is very clear. You must clear 100% before you do an exam. So to me, we are going to have a less number of students to do their exams. And that's an effect. It affects us, we are students.
As an inspiring and upcoming guild president of the institution, what do you think, despite and of course considering all the conditions that are currently available, what do you think students should do? Should they accept that they should miss out in case their parents are not able to fund 100%?
No, we must accept that we are all in a crisis. We admit it is a crisis and no one can overcome it. But to me, our institution should have mercy on us.
Not only you, even your parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Our parents.
Yes.
To us, we students, it should have mercy on us.
Yes.
Don't say that because this is a crisis. So a student who has paid any kind of fee, because we anticipate and we expect that everyone is going to pay at the end of it all. So rate registration policy, it should be Nowhere.
Yes.
We should not have functional fees because we have not used that money.
Yes.
So to me, they are just giving us a double punishment. We are fighting with online data and some gadgets, expensive gadgets, and now we are fighting with rate registration policy. We are now fighting with functional fees. So to me, my calling and my cry should be given to the administration to give us a reduction on functional fees and these other fees.
Or
balance.
even a pardon, since even the reduction might be expensive to some parents.
Yeah,
Yes.
because to me, it is a huge amount of money that we are going to pay, and we are given less period of time because we are preparing for exam. So to me, as a student and any other activist that has been participating in the university, my cry is the ones that have prepared for exams, let them go and do exams. But on a condition that if this person has paid 100%, let him do an exam. If he has not paid, we give him an exam because we anticipate and we expect that this student is going to pay at the end of the time.
I believe with what your suggestion is referring to, since the university has ways of enforcing that this person pays the actual amount of money he was supposed to pay at a certain time, maybe withholding the transcript or something, but at least let this person proceed with the exams.
No, before him, I'm sorry.
Yes.
We have a clear policy. A finalist, a student who is a third year,
Yes.
if you have cleared 60% of your tuition, you must do an exam. That's a clear policy.
Yes.
You must do an exam on a condition that they are going to have your transcript until you pay. But now we have got this system. For it does not know who is a finalist and who is not a finalist.
Yes.
So for it's going to detect
100%.
100%.
Which is for
So it is actually now a burden to us because we have been used with that policy.
Yes.
So to me, they should have a clear way of how we are going to do these exams, regardless of how much money you have paid, because at the end of it all, we are going to pay.
At least one thing that we are sure of is that the youth feedback and Youth TV specifically, we do not just discuss issues for purposes of only discussion, but we expect the real results in the near future, just like the living out allowances, which some people are expecting to cause some inflation around campus now that most of the work is going to be physical. I would like to each one of you to give each one of you a minute to tell us the way forward regarding preparations. I would expect you to highlight the need for a student to prepare as early as yesterday. Thank you. I will start with you.
To make that?
What I mean is that I expect you to tell the student to start preparing in case he was not prepared.
In my last communication to the public, I've already given you the statistics and the conditions that are available.
Yes.
Now, I would like to conclude with the requests. I don't know if I'm accepted.
Yes.
From all what we have seen, I would like to request the university management, plus the lecturers as well, to be considerate in some situations now. I would also request much we have a policy for 70% tuition for a student to attend exams. I would request maybe if we can have something like 50% for the student to do this exam. As we know, still, like I said before, we are in a crisis. That's one of the requests I have. Another request to lecturers, some students who have missed assignments and tests and are willing to do them once they report. I would request also the lecturers to be considerate about that. I would still request the university to be patient with the parents if they delay in clearing the tuition. And I also request the parents to be committed and understand that the university may not run without any single coin. Therefore, the little they may have, they may use to support the university. Yes. My another request goes to the students. Let's not make demands to the university, to the parents, to our fellow leaders. Let's be realistic in our demands as well. As we also, leaders will choose what is best for you and what is important for you. And I also make request to the government that some of the conditions may not be achieved in the due time. Therefore, they may make the restrictions at least somehow not that much complicated for a student as will open. Then I also request God to bless us in everything we're going to do and everything we're looking up to.
Thank you very much. I would like now to know whether Musa has anything more different to what he has or any other addition to. Yes.
Thank you so much. In my last submission is I have to request the university the following. We are in a crisis, but it is sequential. It is continuous. So in an era of an infinite crisis, we should not heavily rely on physical opening up. So as we move to open up, as earlier communicated by the president that staggered opening is 1st November, let the university be open to us and all the students, and we embrace the policy of e-exams, e-learning. Trust me, if the university becomes open that we shall go by not until we are out of the crisis. Students will not waste money to come and pay rent around.
Yes.
They would stay where they wish to stay, or at home. They buy gadgets, secure data, and we have everything online.
Yes.
We had lectures online. Why not online exams? So these exams have a section of students that they compromise, but they are the best exams to fight the current situation because we expect other waves.
Yes.
And as we go up, let the university try to adjust some things, especially with the tuition side on the private student specifically. As we fought for our own government living out allowance, we heard you. We shouted to the government, we received the response soon. Our request still to the university is, if a parent fails to clear my tuition in time or functional fees, let them be lenient, because I have not defaulted before in the normal time. Then the other issue is about online recorded lectures. The recorded lectures, the truth is, I want to disagree with the education minister. These online recorded lectures have not been uploaded to anywhere in science faculty for the lower years. And so happens to even other faculties.
Even some people received those which actually they do play, but audios are not, like you just see video but not audio. So the issue of recorded, this was some kind of faking to students. They recorded but they didn't share to students, implying that me who missed some lecture, I missed it once and for all. Good enough we have somebody to follow it up and make sure every student under your department and actually all the faculty should get, in case they...
It shouldn't be generalized, this statement. Because if I'm to be specific for computational physics, I have all recorded lectures.
He has them, maybe
It
it's a
shouldn't
matter
be.
of consultation.
Some are provided, some have not been, and they still are following up for the rest to be provided.
We hope that is followed. Yes, conclude on your very submission.
So my last submission is still, it goes to the university on the issue of vaccine. As we move to open up, it is forced vaccination according to the president. But even the university professors know that this vaccine is pending verification. Even up countries are just trying to verify it. Let it be a free will to everyone. And now even on the vaccination, let it be brought to campus, not the other side of the hospital. We access it at the university premises to those who are willing to access it if we are to open up. Then for those who are not willing, let them observe the SOPs and we move on. After all, it is my personal life.
Finally, yes, Honorable Robin, would you please sound a warning to a student out there to start reading?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Me, I would wish to start with this. I think it is my dissatisfaction together with the students, then I will sound a warning.
To them?
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, what I want the university to do, at least if for now that we know that students pay tuition in the first semester together with the functional fees. But functional fees, they run for an academic year, but at least we are covered half and a quarter. So some functional fees, they are not used.
Yes.
And even going to the second semester, in that functional fees, we have security, data, and some few other things.
Yes.
So I would request if the government is considerate and our administrators at the campus, this is a public university, we pay tax, we pay everything. I think the next year, the next academic year, the ongoing students shouldn't pay the full amount of functional fees. At least they should pay half to cater for the wasted money. And another thing is about tuition. for private students. I admit most of the students here at MUST at around 50% are on government scholarships or even loan scheme. But those ones who are not able to get such things, at least the government and the university should be considered. Whether if someone comes and explains that for this and this reason I have not been able to complete the tuition, I have no tuition, at least the government should be considerate and they let them do the exams and at least they pay after.
Thank you very much. Then the warning.
So my warning, I want you to give me only 1 minute and I conclude with my warning.
Like 20 seconds.
There is a mismatch here at MUST. Considering the directives from the president of Uganda, it was openly that only finalists from medicine faculty, they are the one that are supposed to report and resume with physical lectures. But for now, all years in medicine, year 1 or year 2, they are all at campus studying physically and they are going to do their exams physically. So where is the government leaving other courses? So do they want to mean that other courses are useless by now? So they are going to make other students hate courses which is not from medicine faculty.
I think, okay. Let me have the last submission from Honorable Koleb as we conclude on this. Yes.
Thanks for the opportunity. As I submit and as we conclude, my submission is based on the administration first. To me, I am requesting the administration to have mercy on us. It is true we are in a crisis, but this crisis we can fight it together.
Yes.
Parents, students, and administration. To me, I am asking and I am begging them to give us more time as we prepare for these exams.
Yes.
Let's not rush. If the president himself said let's reopen on 1st November, why are we rushing to have exams before we have prepared for them? And this helps our parents and we students to prepare for these exams. Another thing I am requesting them to give us more time on these exams, because you find these students, we are still now doing courseworks, we are still now doing tests, and actually we are meeting some students who are complaining about tests that they have not submitted because of the failure of the system. So to me, we need to have a grace period to prepare ourselves so that we can have this. It is true we are here at school, we are at campus. The main fundamental reason why we are there is to study.
Okay.
But our studying should be effective to both students and our parents.
Yes.
Another thing I am begging for students now. As I conclude,
yes,
I am calling my fellow academicians and students at basically at BSU. Let's have an open eye and look at things that are affecting us, we as students. And perhaps let's find and have a one reason and a clear way on how we can fight for what we deserve, we as students.
Yes, yes.
We must have an open eye and fight for what we deserve, we as students, because if we keep in this, no one is going to fight for us.
Yes.
We need to bring our efforts together and fight for what we deserve, we as students.
Yes.
Thanks for helping.
Thank you very much for your submissions. Thank you very much, Honorable Koleb, Honorable Oben. Thank you very much, Honorable Musa. Right, Honorable Musa, not Honorable. Right, Honorable. Then from his submission, you could see it's right. Then lastly, Honorable Selassie, and to you, our viewers of A8 TV, we can never thank you enough for sparing time to watch this very program and get highlighted and know of what is happening regarding resumption and preparations for physical learning. We are here at A8 TV, and the place specifically University Inn, and it is a place that you need to use. It has very many services, as you shall see. It is a place that you need to contact and have your events. They have ample space. They have all the place and room, conference rooms for your meetings and any event that you would want to do. Until next time, stay blessed. See you next Sunday.
You were